Hi guys.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Oh wow.
Welcome.
Welcome to our podcast.
Welcome to Black Scot Pod.
Black Scot Pod. Basically, we have decided that we do not hear enough black people in Edinburgh talking about their lives.
Yeah, not even in Edinburgh. I don't think I've heard
Scotland.
any Scottish black people that I'm aware of that are in the podcasting scene. So I guess
I know of one and one only.
I know.
And that's it.
Well,
that's really it.
I still think. Well, guys, do you know what? If you started a podcast, then awesome. Please talk to us. Thank you.
Yeah, reach out because obviously we'd like to.
I know. Well, that should be quite good.
Get to know you.
But yeah, so we have decided to start a podcast. That's me, Susie,
and me, Shirley.
So Shirley.
Yeah.
Charles, why have we finally decided to start this podcast?
To be honest, I feel like in regards to media, we've ventured in other places. Those shall not be named.
Those shall not be named. A bit too much effort for the other ones, but
yeah. But I feel like this was a natural progression because
can't be bothered doing makeup anymore. So
yeah,
I think it's a lot easier, and I think it's a bit more. Well, for me, I feel it's a bit more genuine, and I feel like it's something that I'm excited to do.
Yeah.
Something that I think needs to be done.
Yeah,
maybe.
definitely. I feel like we have a lot to say about a lot of things, but mostly about our environment.
Yeah, I feel there's a lot of even history. In fact, I think there's a lot that we can add to the conversation about what it means to be black and what it means to be
Scottish.
You know what? Yeah, it means a lot.
We are
to be
Scottish at the end of the day.
Exactly, and I think there's a lot of podcasts out there that deal with the Black British experience, and I've yet to sort of come across one that deals with the Black Scottish experience, and I think that's what we're trying to do.
I know there's a lot of black podcasts out there. Obviously, shout out to all you guys.
I know.
There is a lot, and
so many.
There's so many things that we can relate to when we're listening to those podcasts. But I feel like a lot of those are in England.
Yeah.
And the thing that I found a lot about black podcasts within England is that they've mainly grown up in areas where they've had many other black people around them, whereas our experience is somewhat different.
A bit different.
Very different, to be honest with you, in the sense that when we grew up, we didn't really have a lot of black people. In fact,
literally, y'all.
Growing up,
Shirley
I had Susie.
Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, because you know what? When I first came to this country, Shirley was the only other black person that I knew, and this is in a small, I wouldn't say small town, I think it's got 30,000 people, but still 30,000 people being town. 10,
it's a
I'm
fishing
the only
town.
Other person that you can the only other person that you can see that's like you is one person,
literally, and there was a massive age difference at the time as well, so we basically grew up without each other until
I honestly wish I had the same experiences the other podcasters that you hear about, and you're
it's even when they talk about stuff growing up and all the things that they would get to do,
figure out the makeup thing by myself.
Literally, but do you know what's mad? I've been watching stuff this sounds completely irrelevant to the subject, but even watching something like Top Boy. I don't know if you've seen it. You need to get on that bandwagon. I was shooketh.
Is it a series?
Yeah. How can you ask Top Boy, Susie? Jesus Christ.
This is what I'm saying. Actually, this speaks back to not having a lot of other black
influence. To be honest with you, I joined the Top Boy saga or whatever, the whole movement quite late from everybody else, and even when I watched it, I was like, wow, so okay, this is what people are doing, this is what people of color are actually living and watching, and I did not get to join that bandwagon until a very old age. I'm pretty sure I was 19 or something.
A very old age at 19.
For somebody,
for
me, it's for me to be exposed to something like that. For me, that's a very old age.
True.
Yeah. Okay. So, but no, even watching stuff Top Boy and watching black people hang out together. As a young child, I'm gonna go meet my black friend to go to school with my black friend. I'm sorry, but I never got to meet up with my black friends and go to auntie's house and eat her jollof. I never had that chance.
I'm still waiting for that experience, actually.
I have never, really to be honest with you, I've never went over to auntie's house to eat jollof.
True. Oh, okay. Right. So, I guess maybe that covers why we think the podcast is a really good idea, because, I don't think, Shirley and I's experience are entirely unique, because I think there's a lot of other Scottish children out there, and maybe Scottish adults
who have grown up the same way.
Who kind of, just kind of been waiting for that.
I mean, like, I feel like the younger generation are a little bit they're so lucky. They're so lucky because there is so Edinburgh, the thing about Edinburgh is that it's a very it's a student city. So you'll find a lot of international students, and the older that you get, when you go to university, that this is when you then get to meet all of these black people, and you're like, wow, there's actually black people here. But like in our time as growing up, there was really none. But what I've found now is that there's more black families actually moving into Edinburgh and the surrounding area. I'm walking down the streets these days, and I'm like, there's a lot of black people here.
I'm shook.
Yeah.
Well, when we say a lot of black people,
I mean, like you'll see maybe 2 or 3 black people.
That's an improvement
per mile.
The only, if even. I was on my bus today, and I was the only black person that got on the whole route. I was like, oh, okay, right, fine, fair enough. But I did see black people outside of the bus.
I mean, that's nice. It's always really nice.
Really enjoyed
but
that,
like
actually.
even in like, so we basically both grew up in Musselburgh, the fishing town. And now I can tell you, as growing up, it started off as me and Susie, and we also had a mutual auntie.
Yeah.
Obviously not blood auntie, black auntie.
1, 2, 3. Yeah. Well, it was like 3 official
so there was
black
3
families.
official black families. I mean, there were other families outside of Musselburgh, but within families of that.
Yeah.
As I grew up, another black family joined. We made friends with them during high school. But that was
you made friends with them during high school. Excuse me.
To be honest, it wasn't even
point.
friendship. To be honest, it was just the ethnic nod walking down the corridors. You know.
You see, that's what I'm saying. Like when I turned up to high school, well, by the time I turned up to high school, there were maybe 2 black students, and those 2 black students were, like 3 years above me. No, maybe even 4. They were in 5th and 6th
Sorry, I'm laughing
year.
at the cat, and you can just hear the background noise. That's why I keep laughing.
What's he doing?
I don't know. He was going crazy at him.
I think he's just excited to be in the podcast.
Excuse me. No, but sorry, as you were saying, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Yeah. So actually, when I got into high school, there were maybe 2 other black students, and they were both guys. And they were in like 5th or 6th year. So like, what kind of interaction was I really gonna have? Like, let's be serious.
Yeah.
Being in first year, and all that stuff. And by the time, there was another black girl, and she was also a few years above me. And there was kind of a really, I have no idea. That's what I'm saying.
There was a black girl.
I literally saw her for all of a corridor sesh, like literally transferring classes. And I got really excited because I was like, oh my God, there's another black kid in the school. But that was it. I heard she transferred out, and once more I went back to being the only black girl in a school with, guys, the cat is going mental. Like, he's actually going mad. Like, he has got his toy, and he's
Mims, are you okay?
having a good time.
He's having a great time.
Yeah.
No, but like, I feel like my experience was basically yours. Like, I got into school, and Susie was the only other black girl. Obviously,
I think I'm gonna have to put the cat out. Actually, give me a second. I'm gonna have to put him out.
He's so tired.
Yep. So the cat's out.
Yeah. But as I was saying, like, I basically had the same experience with you. Like, when I first started school, it was you, obviously the only black girl there, and obviously there was the black boys who also were there.
Yeah.
Shall not be named because we do not have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember I first started school, and I was like to everybody, I was like, oh my God, my cousin Susie's like in the year above me. I was like so excited. I genuinely was excited.
I don't know why you were excited. And I got bullied.
No, but that's the thing though. Like, and that's what I was saying. Like, I got bullied as well. But like,
about it now,
do you know what?
I'm over it.
In my head, I kind of had like low key like this confidence feeling because you knew somebody older, and like you're cool because you know someone older. And honestly, I still forever hold this against you. I remember one of the first days, and one of the first days I saw Susie walking down the corridor, and I was like, oh my God, Susie, hey, Susie. This girl turned around, looked at me, went, huh, hi, and then just walked away. And I was like, that's
it. In my defense, Shirley, if I would have heard you being like, hey, Susie, I thought it was just going to be somebody started up. You know, that's how, like, some of it starts. Hey, Susie.
Yeah,
you're just over it at that point. Yeah, no.
I went through like
also,
I went through a lot of that.
What I think we don't talk about enough is like weird black shame in Scotland when you see another black person.
Yeah,
it's really strange, and it's something that I'm overcoming now in my adult years.
It's taken me time, but
I don't know if I want to call it black shame, but it's
it
like,
sort of is. My thinking of it is the fact that it's for me, I think personally it's a complex. Like, so there's a black person, say for instance you're in the office, I'm a black person, you're a black person. In my head it's like, oh my god, okay, here's another black person, and now every person's not going to think just because they're a white person we're obviously going to know each other. And because I'm thinking that in my head, I'm like, do you know what, I'm not going to say hi
you're
because
kind of a little bit afraid. Well, not even afraid, but like you kind of like, you're just kind of thinking in the back of your mind like, oh, they're seeing two black people together.
Oh, there's two black people. Or even just the fact that, like, even the paranoia of the fact that, like, a new black person's going to start and someone's going to be like, oh my god, do you know this person? Why? Oh my god, because they're black.
The other thing that I used to feel was, like, I would be compared. Because there's only two of us. So of course there's going to be a comparison. Oh yeah, this black is better than the other black.
Like, oh yeah, Shirley, you're totally better than this black person because this black person's like this.
When like in actuality, like, well, we're different people.
Like, so we're two different people, so how can you compare us just because we've both got, like, that's me comparing William Wallace and freaking
I don't know where you're going with that one.
Because they're both white.
I thought you were going for like a Scottish comparison.
I don't know. I said William Wallace and Hugh Grant. I was gonna say Robert Burns, but his name like escaped really quickly.
Robert to the Bruce.
Yeah. So
something. I don't know. But yeah, my Scottish history is whack.
Mine is okay. Like, it's not terrible.
I don't know. I actually sat that citizenship test, and everything I learned just out the window.
Oh, have you sat it?
Out. Yeah.
I've never sat it.
I haven't applied for the passport. The passport. I'm so struggle life with my current original passport. But whatever.
I've never sat the citizenship test, and I thank Jesus Christ and my mother for that.
See, your parents were on it. They were on it.
Like,
my parents were like, I'm going back. Did they go back? No, nope. They didn't go back. So I don't know what that was about. Okay, yeah. So I guess that's probably a good segue into like who we are. Like, who are you? Who are you?
Yeah. Who are you?
Why do I care about you?
You are who you are.
Oh, that's okay, poetic. Right, Confucius. Right.
Okay, go. Right.
Nice. Okay, right. But who are you?
You can't ask me this first. Like, I'm the most indecisive, unknown person ever. Like, as in,
she doesn't know who she is.
I don't know. Honestly, like, I don't think I know who I am because I'm constantly learning and evolving. I think I have a better grasp as to who I am.
You just subtract elements of yourself.
I guess so. I mean, like, I'm going a little bit too deep into this. I mean, you just basically want to know who I am about.
I just asked you who you are.
That's it.
I didn't ask for your I didn't ask for your theory of who you think you are. Yeah. So who are you?
No. Like I said, I'm Shirley. 23 years old.
Wow. Old.
I honestly, like, I feel like I need to get my shit together. Oh. Oopsie.
You do.
Oopsie daisy. No, I really do. No, I'm 23. I'm a law student. Yeah. I'm going to say that I'm in my second final year of uni because we've had some complications.
Yeah. I guess that would be a different episode.
Yeah. No, so I'm in my second last year of uni, doing law, which is fantastic. It's great. I guess besides from education wise, I'm a singer and I'm good. Do you know what? I'm gonna put my foot down for here on now, and I'm going to start telling people that I'm a singer, because the more I'm like, nah, like, oh my god, do you sing? I'm like, dabble. Not really. I just dabble a little bit. No, I generally am a singer, and if things go my way, I would like it to obviously become something that it generally is. It's a beautiful passion of mine. I also like to sing, and I'm a singer and I also like to sing. Yeah, I meant to say I also like to dance.
Yeah, I like to sing and sing some more. On the weekends, maybe I like to sing a little bit.
I mean, like, sometimes I dabble from like opera
is one of those
to
singers,
like pop.
No, seriously, you're like one of those singers that like you hear her in the actual bathroom and you're just like, oh my god, shut up. For
like literally one of those singers that like, we get the fact that you're a singer.
We get it.
Stop.
You sing. You sing.
Stop.
She's in the kitchen making you sing. We know you sing.
Stop saying it like that. You sing.
Like, literally, she's like walking down this, you sing.
Stop.
You sing. Well, what's Shirley doing? She's singing. Okay. What else do you do apart from sing? She's doing her radio laugh. Alright, no, that's her real laugh.
Oh my god. I need to stop.
Okay.
Cool. Aside from singing, I dance. But that's pretty much it about me, really. You know, I have other passions, but they're not that deep. Susie, who are you?
I am Susie. I am 26 and I don't sing and dance. I just occasionally sing and I badly dance. Well, I say badly dance, but I think I can hold my own.
I think you can hold a rhythm.
But
you can.
It's literally just Britney Spears, Christina.
Basically, when Susie goes out clubbing, I see a lot
can't
of
do
armpit.
Afrobeats. I can't do Afrobeats. It's just like it's not built in me. It's just not.
Yeah.
And it's such a shame.
Which is fair. Not
maybe I
everybody
can do Roomba.
Oh, you can do. Yeah. You do you know what? You have like the hip movements for Roomba.
I've never
Aside
had
from
my
that one
like,
weird
I've never
hip that
had
you've got.
the what?
The one weird hip that just doesn't want to coordinate.
I didn't know
sometimes.
about this, guys. Apparently, I've got a weird hip.
Oh no, like
What
yes, you
talking
do.
about?
Even if it's
I don't have
yourself.
a weird hip.
Okay, here's the thing, right? So, I personally think that Susie's a great dancer. She can do some mad hip movements.
What mad hip movements?
No, you do some.
You do
hip. No, you do some mad stuff with your
Like
hips that
what?
I'm like,
Like what?
how?
Oh my god.
You know, but like she's just got this one hip that just doesn't coordinate at times, which is quite
I don't
funny.
think it doesn't coordinate. It just doesn't move.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Susie moves, but then the hip doesn't move, so you see like a whole, like.
I'm overcoming it. I'm overcoming it.
No, but like, do you know what? Each to their own.
I can serve you some really good choreographed moves. Is that how am I saying it right? I feel like I'm saying it weird.
Yeah.
So I can choreograph some moves.
Susie basically wants us to.
If you tell me to
freestyle.
If you tell me to whine, it's not happening.
Susie basically wants us to do like she wants us to have like one choreographed dance for when we go to the club.
Yeah.
That is Susie.
Well, I just think it's nice. Just pull out. Oh, did they rehearse that, or
did they rehearse that, or is it just happening?
Basically, yeah. So that's me, I guess. Yeah. I was a law student, but you know what? I actually gave up the dream of being I hadn't really decided if I wanted to be a solicitor or whatever else there is out there. But I think I was doing quite well, but I just, you know, when you just kind of realize that it's not for you.
It was just kind of mad. Happened. It was just kind of mad because I took the idea of being a lawyer sort of not from you per se, but you are one of the influences. You are one of the influences.
That's so sweet. Yeah, no, I just kind of realized that it wasn't for me. I enjoy like learning and the whole advocacy aspect of it. But if you literally were to tell me for the rest of my life or for the rest of my career, you know, I'm looking at contracts and whatever, I'm
It's really
it's
fun.
actually not for me. I think I prefer something a little bit different. Just something a whole lot different. So yeah, I guess is that me? I think you're
pretty fantastic at drawing.
About me.
You're pretty fantastic at drawing.
Some anime apparently.
Yeah.
I worked on that.
And writing. You're a fantastic writer.
Yeah.
My wine glass is empty. So I'm gonna put that on the floor.
Were you drinking wine?
Shut up. I'm moving on swiftly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So actually, how do we know each other?
We met because our mothers are in the same profession. They moved here roughly about the same time, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I think so.
My mom had a daughter, your mom had a daughter, and they thought it would be nice for us to meet. Actually, no.
But little did they know.
How it actually started is that my mom contacted your mom and was like, yo, like, can Susie babysit Shirley?
I literally have no idea about this story.
Oh, no, I don't necessarily know it because obviously they've both known that they've had, like, children. But I think the first memory I have of you anyways was when you came to babysit me. And I was a devil child. Like, I was a devil child. Susie basically came over.
I remember her. That's how much I've erased of my, like, childhood.
So, like, basically Susie came over to my house one day and, like, my mom was going to work and was like, oh, yeah, Susie's coming to take care of you. And I'm like, who's Susie? And then Susie walks into the house with her friend, if I was correct.
What friend?
Thingy's brother.
Who's Thingy?
I don't really want to name people's names.
I want to say Mouthy, but... Oh, yeah.
Did you... That's disgusting.
That's awful.
Yeah, so she basically came around and I was playing on the computer. Paint, to be precise.
Whose house was this?
My house.
Was it the one with the upstairs?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that house?
I remember that. I remember. Yeah,
exactly.
I remember this day, actually.
And I think we somehow must have left that house and then went to your house. And
no, I think we had decided to, because that house was beside the primary school. Was it? No, yeah, and we were like, oh, let's take a trip down memory lane. So, yeah.
Yeah, so she took me back to her house, and I remember Susie had magic sand. She basically gave me 5 minutes. She was like, you stay here, I'm going to go to the kitchen and get some stuff. And within that 2 minutes, I'd managed to spread the magic sand all over her windowsill and was cutting shapes into it. Yeah, she was absolutely fuming. And I was laughing in her face. I was a devil child. But after that, we must have made up, because I remember you put mascara on me. I remember that was the first time I ever wore mascara.
I literally don't remember this at
I don't know
all.
why. I've got a really good memory for these types of things, but I remember that was the first time you put mascara on me.
Did we go behind that car park? That sounds awful. Did we go behind the car park?
Wow, look at that laugh. No, we did. The weird car park, like behind
the
Summerfield.
school.
Do you remember Summerfield?
Summerfield was amazing.
Such a good shop.
Now a pound shop.
Oh yeah, it's Poundland now, isn't it?
It's Poundland. Pound Stretcher.
No, it's both. It's both.
Stretcher.
No, Poundland's on one side and Pound Stretcher's on that
was
side.
Was the whole thing Summerfield?
Yeah, the whole situation was Summerfield.
So
yeah,
it was actually.
Yeah,
right,
it was fantastic. It's been many things. Remember Ali's Cave?
Ali's Cave was across the road.
Yeah. Do you remember it? It was amazing.
Oh, it was good, yeah.
They used to have dildos behind the desk.
They used to have what?
Dildos.
What's that?
Huh?
What's that? What's that?
I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
Oh my god.
Right, okay. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I know what that is.
Childish.
Anyway.
Moving on swiftly. But yeah, that's my earliest memory of how we know each other. And I was like, obviously we grew up, turned 16, and Susie was finally like, okay, we can be friends again. I can forgive her for the sand incident.
But you know what, actually, I don't really remember Shirley that much until, that sounds awful, like simply awful, but I was kind of in my own little bubble. No, seriously, I was in my own little bubble for the longest time ever. And I guess I remember when, was it Christmas Eve? Pass. I think it was Christmas Eve or something like that.
It was. Holiday. I was dropping off a present or something.
Yeah. And I guess I kind of asked Shirley in a non-creepy way, like, you know, like, wait, what age are you now? She's like, oh, I'm 16. And you know, like, when... Was I 18? Yeah, 2 years old. Yeah, I'm 3 years older than you.
How old are you now?
26.
I'm 23, so you're 3.
Yeah, it's closest. We're 3 years apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2.5.
2.5, yeah. So essentially, 2.5 years. So she was like 16, and I guess I might have been like 18. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So I can definitely like talk to you and like have, you know, a meaningful connection and all of that stuff. And I guess Shirley was my first black friend. Like really my first actual black friend. And that's kind of, you know, such a shame because, you know, obviously it took me from the ages of 10 to 18 to have my first black friend. Actually, what's kind of wild is I don't think we've discussed kind of like where we're from. Like, so I'm from Zambia. And I lived there until I was 8, so from 0 to 8, and then I moved to Botswana for 2 years until, you know, my mom got a job here, and that's where we kind of like moved at age 10, and then my dad came, and that was actually quite, it was a bit of a culture shock. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I think this is something that we might discuss in a later episode.
Yeah,
what it's
definitely.
like, what it feels like to move from majority, you know, black to majority white.
Yeah.
How you go from a majority to a minority.
Yeah, how to deal with that. It's quite mad, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's something that needs to be discussed. But yeah, what is your immigration story?
My immigration story basically is... No, I'm joking. So I was born and raised in a small country called Lesotho, which is, for y'all that don't know, not saying that people aren't educated, but I know that there's a lot of people that are like, Lesotho. Is that, yeah. So basically it's, it's landlocked within South Africa. So I was raised there. Like, to simplify things for people, I usually say I'm South African because I don't have time or energy to go through it. But yeah, I was born and raised there. Went to school there, mad time, until I was 7, and I moved here with my mother initially, and then my father moved here as well. And I think it's sort of like the same backstory as moving from one place to another. That's just very.
Yeah, I think that's kind of displaces you. It really does.
I mean, like I feel like for me with South Africa and Lesotho, it's still quite apparent because I moved obviously from being primarily Black people to white people. The funniest story that I like to tell for me, and it still kind of boggles me. So when I was in school in Lesotho, I actually used to get bullied for being too light.
Wild.
Yeah, literally. Like I remember there was one time where one of the girls was like,
for those of you that don't know, I guess Shirley is mid-tone.
Yeah, like mid-tone. I'm not necessarily light skinned.
She ain't olive, but she ain't black.
Yeah. So, which is quite mad because like a lot of people in South Africa and Lesotho are actually my skin color.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. Because when you look at
South Africans in general, like we're from the San peoples, we're quite light.
Because when I lived in Botswana, I guess the Setswana people were also kind of quite light.
And we speak the same language, so it just kind of I don't know.
Sometimes I know when Charlie's talking about something, she should be. So.
But I find it quite funny because I went from being bullied and not having friends because I was too light to being bullied and having no friends because I was Black.
Yeah.
So that was weird. That was a whole weird situation for me, and I think to this day I still deep it because I'm like, it's crazy like how things work and how things are. But even here, like, I'm not going to say that I get bullied for it, but I do get a lot of stick for being light skinned, which is, I feel like it's something that I do want to cover.
Colorism is definitely a big issue in the Black community.
No, colorism, I personally, like, colorism, I feel, for me personally, like, I do take this very, very much to heart because I just don't see why it's necessary.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I don't understand why just because you're darker than me, you have more right to say that you're Black than I do.
Our differences.
Exactly.
People are moving on and doing great things.
And I think this is one, in my opinion, this is one of the things that's stopping Black people from fathering.
Yeah.
Because we're so against each other.
That's not all of it, but definitely, I think, we need to stop it because what is it really achieving?
Just need a quick smack, like, stop.
Yeah. One of those.
Yeah. But I guess that's just kind of really who we are.
I mean, there's a lot of, we have a shared history and, shared trauma. You know what? No, I would definitely describe it as shared trauma because I don't think 100%. The people who had a negative impact in our lives actually realize what kind of impact that they actually, that they had on us.
I would like to highlight another thing though. I would like to highlight another thing. Because we grew up in a little town, I've learned this from the Black friends that I then grew up to then meet. I've learned that we actually have very different upbringings from other Black people in Edinburgh.
That's actually wild.
Which was really wild to me. We never saw Black people.
I'm not exaggerating. I didn't really meet another Black person outside of my town until, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago. To be honest, I did not know there was a Black community out there to be tapped into.
Literally.
And I'm so, honestly, I am quite envious because this whole time I could have been with my people.
Literally.
Whole time.
That's how I felt when I finally got to meet all these Black people.
It might come back to Black shame.
Yeah.
Because those of us that, were raised in a small town and whatever, you weren't really not encouraged to seek out other Black people, but you didn't know that you could, that there were other Black people
Plus,
out
that's another
there.
thing, we were not really that close to town to know, and I think as well,
and
just
due to the way really protective as well, because they didn't let you go on
and just
bus
due to the way that we grew up, we just had different interests.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, did I just burp? Oh, I did now. Sorry, that's disgusting. Pardon me.
Yeah.
No, I think personally that I developed different interests, but I eventually branched out, I think, when I was maybe 16, 17, to then obviously meet more Black people. But this was due to youth groups that I used to go to. And my mum, I'm very, very lucky. And my mum introduced me to a youth group called Young Sahelia. Actually, they're still going. They're fantastic. I'm not gonna lie, really amazing. And this is where I actually got to meet people of color, and I was like, "So y'all exist?" And it was great because through that, I then learned and met different people and learned about different cultures. I even met South Africans, and I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah,
there's a whole
It's really amazing that there were other people out there that you could share your experiences with, because in my opinion, I literally went from coming to the UK, being the only black kid in primary school, being the only black girl in high school until Shirley came along, and literally going to college and being the only black girl on my course, and the whole cycle repeats itself. Being the only black girl in the workplace, and blah 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 blah. It literally goes like that and like that and like that. And because I wasn't necessarily as outgoing as Shirley, and that's that's a personality type thing. You can't put yourself,
which is crazy because I actually think you're more outgoing now. To some extent. I think Susie has a lot more confidence in herself than I do. Like, basically, I'm one of those people, I blag my way through life. Like, bullshit till you make it.
Blagging on my part as well. Yeah. But, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't think I ever had, like, the feel and the drive to go out and seek other people, because to a certain extent I'd sort of accepted my situation in life. And I kind of went from being, an extroverted child to going to an introverted child because of the experience of coming into, like Scotland and having to actually I don't know anything.
Be cautious.
Yeah. And I think also, I'm going to be really candid here, but back in Africa, and especially in Botswana where I was at, I think people tend to hype white people up a bit too much.
Not a bit, a lot.
Yeah,
I know they still do, and and it's so jarring. It was really
because so I came into Scotland expecting all these big things. I thought I was gonna live my Mary Kate and Ashley
literally.
I thought so, and literally I came here and just
I remember, this sounds really, really bad, but when I first moved here, I did not expect to see poverty anywhere.
No, exactly.
I would but the funniest part is that 2 minutes round from the where I lived, poverty hit. You know what I mean?
But that's the thing though. But the poverty here is not the poverty back home.
Oh no, it's not the same type of poverty. But it's still
you didn't recognize it as poverty.
I don't know what I recognized
as begging on the street.
Yeah, I didn't recognize it as that type of poverty, but I recognized it as something that's ish.
Yeah.
This is you,
oh, actually, they have money, but.
But why are they living like this?
Yeah, no, 100%. No, I literally expect as much as people like to say, you go to, I don't know, you go to China, you go to, freaking Mexico, and you get culture shock.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get culture shock coming to the UK as well.
Oh my God.
Get culture
and I think
shock.
it's so different. Even, oh my God, do you know what kills me still to this day? Okay. I want to say no offense, but they really shouldn't be offensive. But white people,
when something's about to be offensive,
saying or calling their friends' mothers by their first name.
You know what? I still haven't. I'm yet to call any white mom by her first name. I just have to address her by
literally.
No, I can't. I can't do it.
I remember my very first best friend. God bless her soul. I love her. She's not dead, sorry. I don't know why I said God bless her soul.
She's dead to you. No,
I don't know why I say that, but honestly, to this day, she holds a special place in my heart. But I used to go around to her house every single day, and her mom used to always just be like, "Yeah, just call me by my first name," and I can't. It physically will not come out.
And I guess this is it, right?
And because when she called my mom by her first name, I was like,
yeah.
She was like,
I've never heard my mom's first name be uttered, not even by my dad.
I even remember she asked me, so what's your mom's name? And I was like,
I don't know.
This is my mom's name. And then she walked into my house of confidence and said my mom's first name. I was like, yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
But see, guys, this is it. I suppose, because you spent, the formative years of your life both in Africa, or you spent the formative years of your life in your original country, and then you've spent the next half over here, so you just kind of pulled into two different directions, and it's kind of hard to, for myself, I found it really hard to mesh those two together.
Yeah, it's difficult. It really is.
I really did. And I'm maybe still struggling with it to this. I don't know if maybe.
I think
I'm
still struggling. 100% still.
Let's not lie.
I am still struggling to adjust to a lot of things. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's finding a balance to respecting your culture back at home.
Yeah.
And adjusting to the world that you live in.
Yeah, even respecting who you are to become.
I remember for me personally, I struggled growing up. I honestly, I think I've tormented my parents going through this. Susie keeps touching random stuff because it keeps making noises. Yeah, no, like I generally think I was really difficult for my parents because I then started taking the influence of my friends. I'm like, well, my friends can do this. Why can't I do it?
Yeah.
And then my mom would be like, but you are African. You cannot do it. I'm like, but
sounds like your mom. Yeah, you sound like she sounds like her mom.
I just used to find it so like perplexing as to why I can't do the things that my friends
You know what
did.
my mom used to say? That was my favorite. That's become my favorite thing now. Is when we went through that emo phase, right? Black eyeliner, black wig with the fringe, maybe even it was your own natural hair, but you've like parted it into that like weird side fringe afro, where it like still sticking up.
With like, oh my
like
God.
Literally, when I had that on, I'm wearing my black
baggy jeans.
I didn't do that. But when you have like all of your black outfit on, my mom was like, "You're black. Why you in black?" No way. She's like, black on black. I was like, Mom.
Maybe backs on
black on black on black on black on black on black. I was like, Mom, what's going on? No. My mom was just trying to. She was like, "Oh, you can't even see your face. Your whole outfit is black." I was like, "What?"
She did not say that. Hey, auntie's on a different level, you know. Yes,
she was right though.
I didn't go for like.
Try to look like a silhouette. And
I tried to be cool. I didn't go for emo. I went for scene. You know, we're emos, but we wear some color.
No, I didn't do scene. I didn't do scene. I think
I liked scene.
I was over scene.
I was pink and black.
I went to Battle of the Bands and I saw this black girl in her like her braids that were in different colors. I was like,
oh my God, I wish that could bring me. My mom literally, the colors was a 1, a 2, a 4. I remember the day my mom let me get a 1 with 24. Do you know what that is?
Wow.
That is black with blonde in it.
Amazing. That was a turning point.
Changed. Now here's where it got ruined.
When my mom let me have a wave.
No.
Yo, the way I was into that
chestnut.
Chestnut.
Oh, chestnut. Chestnut was a color.
I'm going back to that.
But you know what? I actually killed my hype. So I used to get this black plus 1 plus 24 is exactly what it's called by expressions.
1 plus 24.
No, it was 2 plus 24 because it was brown and yeah.
Wait, no free promo.
Free promo.
No, but you know where you get your hair from in Edinburgh.
No,
exactly
but basically,
where you get it from.
So I used to just have used to have the strands put in the blonde. Yeah. And then one day I decided, you know what would be really, really cool? If I just had like a line of blonde going across the head.
Yeah.
And
why?
I just thought it was a really great idea. And so I was back in South Africa when I got this done.
Oh, okay.
I came back home.
One line of blonde.
Yeah, no, it wasn't one line of blonde. It was basically like braids, but it was just like a little...
like balayage in the early phases.
Literally just like a little pew in there and a little pew here and there. And I felt great. And I went to school and I was feeling myself. The day went along well. And then I went to lunch. I went to the Sporty with my friends to get
the Sporty.
Yeah, the Sporty.
Of course.
No, the sports center. By the way, I went to the sports center for lunch.
Sporty.
And I was standing in the queue, and someone turned around and went, "Oi, Medusa, why'd you have rubber bands in your hair?"
Don't talk to me about Medusa.
First of all,
you only got that because I was bullied with that. You got that.
So you invented it then?
No, I didn't invent it, Shirley.
Your followers, your haters invented it and then passed it on to me.
I got Medusa, right, guys? Right. I'm just gonna tell you, right. So I went back home with my parents back to Zambia for like a holiday. You know, you have that mandatory 3 weeks that you do
every single year. Just so.
Yeah, and like literally, I came back and I had braids, but my braids were was it crochet? I think it was a crochet weave, but it was one of those like this.
Yo,
it was like really coily. It was really coily.
You were doing crochet weaves back then?
No, actually, it might have been braids. Actually,
I think it might have been.
No,
maybe it was a twist.
I can't remember.
Twist.
It was kind of like a twist, but it was the one where you like when you pull on it. Right. Okay. Yeah, when you pull on it, it kind of like springs back up. So I literally came back. I was feeling myself in the airport. I was like bouncing, shaking your shoulders. You're just feeling yourself, like you're feeling it. It's good. It's big. It's bouncy. You've got personality. Look at me. All that stuff. Right? Anyway, why has my accent become say that. Anyway.
Because you're feeling yourself.
As you will know, my accent tends to travel.
Oh, yeah. We're both on that same boat.
Yeah, because we're still trying to figure ourselves out, and so is our accent. Yeah, so literally, I was like walking. I was like excited about this. I'm like, here I got my haircut. Yeah, get into Reggie, first class, Medusa. You know when you just like your heart sinks. I thought this was it, guys. This was gonna be the turning point in second year. This was it. My peers were gonna respect me. I had a good haircut.
It's the sheer fact that you're saying my peers are gonna respect me.
My peers will
That's why your peers are gonna respect you, because you call them peers.
On it.
Go put some respect on it.
No, basically, like literally. Wait. Yeah. No, like literally, guys, I was like hyped. I was like so excited because, I thought I looked good. I was confident. I looked good. And like literally, I would call it enduring. This is actually one of the points of what I would consider like trauma to me, because actually being called Medusa every single where I go, I'm sure you all thought you were like original and whatever, but like
literally,
wow, way to go. And like literally it was like pulling the hair and like making it bounce.
They went like, as far as to touching your hair.
They're literally touching my hair, like when I was in the class. Like if you're sitting in front of somebody, you literally just feel your hair like it's kind of moving, and I was just like touching it and like pinging it up and down. And then like when I was trying to, I hated going in the corridor, because it wasn't just people, that were in my class or anything like that. It was like just random children just touching my hair and like pinging it, Medusa, Medusa, Medusa. And it's kind of like at a certain point, you're just kind of like, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't really know how to quantify like what I was feeling. I didn't know how to express what I was feeling, but like as soon as I could, I took that hair out, but the damage was done, so to speak, because like for the longest time ever, I took it out because I was sick and tired of people like touching my hair.
And
like,
I bet your mom was vexed as well at
it.
the fact that you took it out, because she was like, I paid so much money for you to get this hair done. Why
Basically,
are you taking it out so
I was really sad because obviously I really liked that hairstyle, and I'd spent the painful hours sitting down getting it done.
No,
and all
in between someone's lap, just smelling hotness.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Smelling hotness. I wasn't going to say nothing else.
You know exactly what you were smelling.
You know exactly what you smell. Right. Pum pum.
Yeah, it's like literally, I was like, I don't know how to even express it to you guys, but it's a certain type of disappointment. No, a certain type of like, you're just tired.
Did you ever get Predator?
This is what I'm saying, Shirley. Yeah. I took all the burns so that you would get less of them.
Here's the thing. Here's one I can definitely 100.
Got Predator I can when I got
100% guarantee you never had Didier Drogba.
I did. I got Didier Drogba. I did.
Like, listen, as a young girl, you are growing into your formative years. Sorry, you're developing breasts.
Yeah.
And then someone's gonna turn around and call you
Didier Drogba.
Out of all the people.
Oh, you look like Whoopi Goldberg. And you're like, wow.
No, I can no.
It's like that.
I can take Whoopi Goldberg. I can take
females. But when everybody else is being compared to, you're like, Britney Spears,
do you know what I mean?
Christina Aguilera, you're all of this.
I can take all of
Didier
that.
Drogba.
And do you know what? And the peakness of my, like the height of my peakness anyway, in regards to high school was when I developed a skin condition. I didn't develop it per se. I
acquired.
I acquired it. No. So I always had eczema. But
eczema? You got eczema?
You got eczema?
You got eczema?
No. So I've always had eczema, and I struggled with it quite a lot. But when I was back home, obviously I was able to get like specialists to deal with it, because back home is back home. So when I moved here, it was away for a while, and just as I was starting high school, it started to slowly develop. I started second year, and it hit like literally, it hit like a ton of bricks. And when I tell you guys that I had no eyebrows, my skin was peeling to the point where if I scratched it or touched it during school, like the flakes would actually fall onto the desk. It was disgusting. It was disgusting to the point where I actually had one. I had a boy. I used to fancy this boy so much, and I actually fancied him all the way from primary school. And I remember
I couldn't even fancy anyone because I knew for sure it wasn't gonna happen.
No, like the thing is, I knew for sure it wasn't gonna happen. But for the first time, like he was taller than me and he was bigger than me, so I was like, oh, okay, because I was pretty large.
Hefty. No, but she was pretty good at you. It was good.
No, but so like I remember I scratched my skin one day because I used to have to carry a Vino with me in the bag every single. I would go to the Susie.
What did I do?
Nothing. You done nothing. I used to go to the bathroom every single hour to moisturize my skin because if I didn't moisturize it hourly, it would peel.
Are you like that guy who like peels because of the sun?
Yeah, basically. It was peak.
Wow.
Like, generally, it was horrible. And I remember I didn't have time and the teacher didn't let me go to the toilet during art. I'm not going to say your name, but you caused this. So I remember my skin was itching. And you know when you just can't resist the itch? So I itched it. And I was sitting opposite this boy that I fancied. And my skin flaked onto the...
Wait, you say itched?
Yeah, like as in...
Not scratched?
No, I don't know. Itched, scratched?
Why would you say itched?
Itchy and scratchy?
But itched is like... Oh, I mean, that's beside the point.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so I scratched my face, as Susie would prefer me to say. And my skin flaked. And I went to wipe... This is so disgusting. Honestly, it's disgusting. But I went to wipe the flakes off. And then he turned around, he went, ew, I saw what you done, Quasimodo. And I was like, oh, wow. Like... Quasimodo. Honestly, I'm getting tears coming to my eyes just thinking about it. It was the most heartbreaking moment of my life.
I'm raging. I'm outraged.
Then just as I thought, like, so I then started to get happy because the skin condition was healing. But then I developed this thing on top of my lip, the darkness on top of my lip. You know the light skin darkness. Mustache. You know the light. You know the. Okay, light skins. You can all attest to this. Mustache. You know that darkness that you get on top of your lip.
To be fair, I don't know if I have it. I maybe
you low-key do, but it's not as noticeable because you're darker. So obviously. And then I had a weird habit of licking on top of my...
I think you still do, actually.
Yeah, licking on top of my lip. So just as the skin condition disappeared, the dark patch on top of my lip came, and then I developed the nickname Mustachio. Which lasted for a good 2-3 years. Mean. So yeah, like basically up until 4th year, I had it shit. And then I keep swearing. This is so bad. You're gonna have to be.
Sometimes life is real.
Yeah, I've sworn 3 times now.
It can't be.
But yeah, like I've had it pretty bad up until 4th year, and I then began to lose weight, and my mother finally let me have a weave, and the Shirley that we all know now has developed and became who she was. Born. Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy, isn't it?
No, that's actually quite crazy because you know what? I had a completely different experience because I think I went the completely opposite way and since that it took me until maybe I was 20 until I started discovering what it means to be a woman.
To be honest with you, I can attest to this because even when I met you, I was like, yo, Susie.
Leave me alone. I was enjoying it.
Yes,
it was good. I'm sorry, but life was never any better than when I was like Simple Plan.
Oh my god.
Yay! Don't get me started with
No. It wasn't just Simple Plan. It's Justin Bieber as well. It's Justin Bieber and Simple Plan. Justin Bieber, Simple Plan, and Harry Potter.
You know
who?
Justin.
Oh yeah, it's weird. How old is he? Like your age?
No, he's younger than me.
Is he?
24.
All right.
25, 25. 94? I think it's 94, 95, 96. I don't know, guys. But I went to his first My World Tour and it was great. Maybe actually one of the scariest concerts I've ever been to because you know what? You're just getting hit with a wall of sound. I have no idea how he did it then, in that case.
I've only ever been in one concert. Well, I've only ever went to one concert.
My Chemical Romance?
No, unfortunately not. Yo, MCR was something else, you know?
Yeah.
No, it's Katy Perry.
I was a young boy, my father took me into the city.
I wasn't expecting you to drop.
See how much.
Anyway, mine was Katy Perry, and that's also where I got my first boyfriend.
That's so sweet. That's actually really nice. But yeah, so I mean, we've had an interesting upbringing, and I sincerely hope that we can find other like-minded people, you know, who've had the same experience. Because I think. Nah, I think
now it's a whole different story.
We need to do more, guys. Like, we need to connect.
Comparing ourselves from then to now, it's a whole different story. Like,
yeah, I feel like I'm a different person, actually.
If I generally
or maybe, I feel like I think I'm getting back to who I was before I came here.
Really?
Yeah, I think
potentially.
So. I think it's been a bit of a journey.
Actually,
but I think
do you know what? Now that you say it, because I remember when I was back at home, even though I got bullied when I was back at home, I was still a very confident
you
child.
You still knew who you were.
Yeah, like honestly, bless my father for making me my dad would never fail to make me feel as if I was like the best thing walking earth. Like I would go so I went to boarding school, so I would only kind of see my dad on the weekends.
Yeah,
every now and then. And each and every single time I saw my dad and I tell him my problems, he'd be like he would just sort of laugh it off and be like, why are you listening to them when you are... I mean,
that's kind of like most African parents.
Literally, my dad would be like, you're Shirley McPherson.
You know
like, why did you feel this way?
Shirley, if when our parents are sort of, laughing us off, if that's their way of not acknowledging it, but kind of like, if I stop for a second, I have to recognize that, this big thing has had this impact on my child, and that's actually a lot. I try to think about it. If I had a child and I'd move them from somewhere where they're in the majority, move them to where you're the only black kid in the school, like how would they feel? And if they came to me, I'd be scared. I'm not gonna lie, I'd be scared.
I'd be very, very scared.
I'd be scared.
Like right now, I listen to my mom talk about how scared she is for my brother to start high school, and I'm like, I like looking like she said to me she wasn't worried because it was Shirley, and I was like, excuse me, you should have been a little bit worried because I went through hell.
Well, to be on a positive note, I think as much as social media has been a bit of a there's pros and cons to social media.
Yeah, 100%.
But I think as much as it's been a con, I think one of the pros, to a certain extent, is that it's kind of made black culture a bit more accessible to the everyday person. Because you try to think about it, when it was in primary 7 first year, that's like circa 2004. When could I go on the internet just easily to Google,
exactly,
to Google, to Instagram, to Twitter, other black people, like, come on now.
Yeah, like social media has like come a really long way, like 100%.
I think it's made it more accessible in that regard, and obviously it's also had its downsides,
like literally
as well.
And, like I'm laughing
because like made us more accessible to
I'm laughing because
people,
our brothers' generations. Like when I was my brother's age, I'm sorry, but I was just so like meek and quiet.
Same.
My brother
I went into myself.
My brother does not have a single black friend, but I swear my guy is the blackest guy I know. Like I will call Andrew and he's there like lying on his bed like, yeah, what on, bro? I'm like, sorry.
That's really nice. And I guess for my little brothers, well, I think they're kind of lucky in that they have each other and they can sort of bounce off each other. But I do worry sometimes, like, do they need the positive like black role models? And do you know what, TV's actually done a hell of a lot. Guys, I think there's a lot of black centric. Yeah. He is. He's even got the freaking
roadman attire.
No, he's got the roadman haircut.
He really does.
Yeah, he really does. And meanwhile, my brothers are dweebs.
No, your brothers. Your brothers be walking in here with fresh trim sometimes, and I'm like, what?
They're lovable dweebs.
Where is father taking these boys to get?
No, true. Actually, they do know. They're quite worldly. I think they know quite a lot.
They really do.
About it, and I'm actually really glad for a lot of the TV shows out there that are kind of on Netflix. Like sometimes I'm trying not to make a big deal when I see them watching Fresh Prince. They're like, oh, we're watching season 5 and all that stuff. I'm like, did you watch all the episodes of Fresh Prince?
Do you know what I love?
They're like, yeah, we love Fresh Prince. I'm like, oh,
I feel like I'm the opposite in regards to Andrew, because my moment of Andrew is when he watches anime. I'm like, yo, my God.
I got you started on anime.
You did.
I got you started. Guys, to be honest, if you've
depression
never
got me started on anime.
Same. Let's not lie. Depression hit hard. That's when the anime really bangs.
You're slightly going into like a depressive mode.
No, I'm not even going to go into it.
Stop it.
But guys, watch Bleach.
Watch Bleach.
If you're depressed... Okay, first of all, after you seek help, watch Bleach.
After you seek help.
Well,
do you know what the weirdest thing? Someone actually once put this into fact to me, and that's when I realized that, anime probably is my go-to, like, I'm getting depressed thing. Someone once said to me that I was talking to this guy, and guys, he was like,
just to be really candid here, I guess when we say when you're getting depressed, like, I will go on record and actually say, you know what, actually, yes, I have been depressed. I am still depressed. Yeah. Like I actually still see, you know, a psychologist, and that's not something to be ashamed of. Absolutely not, because it just means that, you know, you've been able to recognize that you need help, and you need somebody to help you in recognizing, you know, what you need, who you are, where you're going. Mm-hmm. Well, that's something. It makes you stronger, 100%. So that's sort of what, you know, we mean in that regard.
I feel like we can do like a
whole
episode.
I just feel sad.
Oh,
No,
like I feel like depression. As in, I would personally want to do like an episode on this as like a topic.
I think so, because I don't think we talk about it enough.
Yeah, like as in I feel like this is something that we've both gone through, and luckily I've had you there to help me go through it, like, because for me it was just a really, really weird thing, because I feel like depression in the Black community is something that is not discussed enough. I'm sorry, but like we really need to start being open about it. Because for me, like when it first started, I was in denial. I was like, nah. No, you just think depression for who? For what?
Oh, it's just winter.
You know? For what?
You just think it's winter.
Exactly.
Then you just think it's this breakup.
Yeah. So
then
like
you just think it's this. I don't know.
Yeah. Like so when I finally like realized that like I had Susie to talk to like about it, I was like, do you know what? Like this is not as bad as I thought it
makes
was.
the world a little bit better, I think, to talk about it a little bit. Because I think that the sooner we start talking about it and normalizing it, the sooner that we can just, you know...
Get past it?
Move past it, 100%. I think if we stop making it such a big deal...
Yeah, 100%.
And I think we should definitely do, you know, a bit of a stop like a thing on it. Analyze,
Yeah. Back to my story. Anyways. Attention back to Shirley. Attention.
Yeah.
No, but basically I met this guy, we were talking, and he was he put something into perspective for me, and he was like he's found that a lot of people who watch anime and like watch sci-fis and basically
I literally came up with this theory in 6th year of high school. I was like, you know, all the people that watch Death Note are well depressed.
Yeah, so basically, he kind of explained it to me as if, like, you watch things that aren't realistic because you want to escape the reality that you're in. And ever since I've deeped it
so much fantasy books, not to say that, you know, any particular time I'm like, I want to escape.
Personally, for me, like, as
now it's an inbuilt thing in me,
like,
that I want that.
I like not dealing with real life situations. So movies that deal with real life situations, I'm kind of like, nah, I do not think so.
Yeah,
I'd much rather watch Discovery.
I'll watch
and
some
Star
Game
Trek.
of Thrones.
You know, I'd rather watch some dragons and shit.
And then you start crying sometimes, you know, the dragon.
The dragon died, like, as in, oh my god.
Like, nah, I can't do this.
So, I feel like we went really off topic to the point where I don't really remember what the topic was.
I don't remember either, but hopefully you all do and have somewhat enjoyed this little pod.
Yeah.
A little poddy.
I did not think we would ramble on for...
Oh, I had a feeling, Shirley. I've heard you talk.
Shut up.
Yeah, basically. Thank you. But like literally, guys, I guess this is us trying to be a bit more... accessible.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like, you know what, we need to start talking.
And you know what? One thing that I'd really like to do is I would like to have some of like our friends and people that we don't know.
I think so.
Even, do you know what? I would love to have a discussion with a person that I don't know on this.
Yes.
I would love that.
I want to see what else is going on out there.
Like, because our friends, we already know our friends and we already know their perspectives, but I would generally like someone to come in and share some perspectives with us that we don't know.
100%.
You know.
I also think that we should also kind of just open up the floor. I don't think this is a specific issue to Scotland. And actually, I will go on record. I think it is an issue in Scotland because, you know, from the 2011 census, because I have time to do this, the Scottish black population is 1% of, you know, Scotland. That's nothing, guys.
Wait, are you even serious?
Yeah.
In 2019?
Yeah, well, 2011. Because they do it every 10 years or so.
Oh,
but literally, I think the last census that was taken way back in like maybe 2011 to 2003. I can't tell you the exact year. Sorry. There were maybe 28,000 Scottish people, black Scottish people, like as in black people in Scotland. 28,000. That's nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Wait, isn't saliva meant to stop you from bleeding?
Disgusting.
Sorry to interrupt you.
She has somehow managed to hurt herself and is licking the blood off. I don't know. Anyway,
it's a clogging agent.
I'm gonna try
clotting, not clogging.
I'm just gonna.
Is there a difference?
I'm looking away.
Is there a difference between clogging and clotting?
Looking away.
Is there a difference between clogging and clotting?
Yes. clogging is like stop. I don't know. Maybe in this context it's the same. But yeah, like there's not really a whole lot of people, and I think the last estimate in 2010 was that it had doubled. So that's maybe 50,000 at a best estimate. Maybe my facts are wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Black Scottish population is nothing.
Tiny.
It's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. So you know what? If we can make it a little bit smaller,
but
just kind of
I'm actually not even gonna lie to you.
Like
some Black Scottish people are doing
smaller,
some major things
closer.
now. They're starting to do major things, and I'm really
so.
happy. Have you heard of the rapper, the rapper from Aberdeen?
No.
He's a grime artist. Is it grime?
Exciting.
I don't know whether it's grime or like I don't know the difference, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. When I see like black people doing things, and maybe not even just black people, but I think when we see people of color doing things in Scotland, you're like, what?
It's amazing.
At first you're like, what? When did this happen? All right, okay. Yeah.
I'm feeling
and then
life.
You see and you're like, oh.
It's pretty fantastic. It generally is fantastic.
Amazing. I think so as well. I think
I love
we've got a whole lot to look forward to. One of these things hopefully being so guys, if you could just like, comment,
I didn't know that your biltong was halal.
Is it? My mom came back from Zambia with some biltong.
Yo,
I don't know, it must be halal. She was like, I didn't have enough time, I just got you something from the airport. So
that is so sweet of her. But it's halal. That's actually amazing. I'm sorry, I'm shooketh.
Thank you.
I am so shooketh.
But yeah, I don't know if you want to call it a night on the pod. But I think,
night on the pod.
Do you think we've covered sufficiently enough? A wee bit of a taster.
Yeah, I feel like this is really deep.
And if you are genuinely wondering, as I said earlier, my accent travels, so I don't really know what I am.
Yeah, no, I feel like throughout this episode, both of our accents have travelled.
I think so.
I have went from...
That's what happens.
I've went from Shirley to Scottish to black.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, no, they do frequently travel.
So what happens when you don't have enough time to
develop one accent?
Yeah, it's true.
And that's the thing, because of like our environment and the type of people we meet, I feel like we've met a lot of international people.
True.
So the more you're with international people, you develop their international way of speaking rather than just...
You just take it.
Yeah, like it just...
And
that's another thing, like it doesn't even happen without you knowing. Like I've been around a lot of black people recently.
Lucky.
Yeah, you guys will probably think, oh my god, she's been around a lot of black people recently.
Honestly, I'm trying. I like to expose myself to black people, but now I'm like,
for me to be around black people, it's not a norm. So for me to say I've been around a lot of black people recently, it genuinely means that. Like,
I think this is only for me in the last couple of years that I've even been able to say I've been hanging out with black people.
Like, yeah, so it's not a norm. So like I'll come back and all of a sudden I'll sound real. I was watching Top Boy last night, so if some things came out, then hey,
yeah, basically.
the influence was from that. But it's crazy. Traveling accents and
traveling lands.
Yeah. But I think we can call this a wrap. Or we can call it a burrito.
No.
Or
no, nobody say that.
That was hilarious.
Nobody say that. Yeah. So thank you for listening.
Was so funny.
If you've actually stuck all the way through
it. Why are you not laughing at my joke?
It wasn't funny.
Or you can call it a fajita.
No.
Do you get it? Because they all consist of like...
Yeah, because it's a wrap. No.
Yeah,
right, okay. So guys, I'm trying to end this freaking podcast so I can like go sleep.
It was actually... I was funny.
Guys, honestly, I really do... Like, I appreciate it.
Honestly, I really do appreciate you guys tuning in and listening.
If you enjoy what we're saying,
and then like we upload this and there's only 2 listens, and that's me and Susie.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
Basically, repeatedly.
I'm sending this. But nah, like it's been nice to finally do this because it has been something that's been in the works for a while, and
just need to get out and do it.
It has been prolonged for unnecessary reasons.
Yeah.
So it's nice to finally just get out and do it.
It is nice to just kind of get over the procrastination.
Yeah, definitely procrastination. Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
But like, yeah, guys, thank you so much for listening. Hopefully the next few episodes we discuss something that is really close to our hearts.
Can we do this weekly?
Yeah,
I know that's a big commitment, especially for me because I'm a flake.
Yeah,
but no, I do. Excuse you.
Massive. No, I'm joking, guys. She's actually really reliable.
I'm a snowflake.
Right, that's your declaration. Okay, no, let's just saying bye.
Okay, fine.
Guys,
we've
good night,
done 3 minutes
good morning,
of byes now.
Good afternoon.
What time is it? It's actually
I hope you enjoy. That's why we bother talking about the time.
It's in the AM. But yeah, thank you guys.
Okay, guys, thank you, and we hope to see you listen to. We hope you listen to this again.
Yeah, actually, definitely.
It's quite therapeutic.
Yeah,
it's very therapeutic.
Yeah, extremely.
Yeah, share with your friends.
Scottish by popular demand.
I don't think so.
Black Scot by popular
demand.
Okay, guys,
we're literally calling it. Thanks for listening.
Right, okay, bye, guys.
Okay, bye.